So here's the thing, guys. The main reason most people get dumped is because the dumper loses emotional attraction. And once the emotional attraction has gone, there's not much you can do. So I'm going to be brutally honest with you right now that stages 1 to 3 may be a little bit brutal. It may be something that you don't want to hear, but stages 4 and 5 may just surprise you and may make you feel a little bit better. So stick around and let's go through this journey on the 5 stages of a breakup for the dumper. But before I get into that, you know what's coming. It's the intro. Hey guys, it's Nick. As always, doing my best to get you through your breakups as easily and as healthily as possible. If today's video is not enough for you, join the free Facebook group. Go to Facebook, type in the Love Fix Breakup Recovery, join the community. If that is not enough for you and you're really struggling right now and you just need some one-to-one guidance to get some clarity, to get some relief, just to get you through your breakup, you can email me at thelovefix20@gmail.com and arrange a one-to-one voice coaching session with me. Also, guys, please hit like, hit subscribe if you like the video. It will really help the channel out and it help get this video out to everybody else that needs it. Okay, let's get into it. So stage 1 for the dumper is relief. They have spent the last few weeks, months, maybe even a year or two, figuring out how they are going to end the relationship without hurting you. Now, they could be the best motivational speaker in the world. They could be the best negotiator in the world. It's going to hurt. They're going to hurt you. There is no other way of doing it. So for them to do this, they have to build you up as a monster in their head, as someone they really don't like anymore, so they can detach themselves from that emotional pain that they're actually feeling, because they don't actually want to hurt you in most cases. So once they've got that out of the way, once they've cut the cord and they rip the band-aid off, relief, unbelievable relief. They are now out of the situation that was causing them to be unhappy. They feel free. They don't feel stifled anymore. They can go about their business. They can do whatever they want with whomever they want. And guys, I fully appreciate that this may not be what you want to hear right now, and it may be triggering. I get that. But you must let them have this. You must let them have the relief. And you must let them experience life without you. So that's stage number 1. Stage 2 is like a honeymoon phase of being single and experiencing the freedom. It's the fun stage. So they're getting back out there. They are reconnecting with friends. They're reconnecting with family. They're reconnecting with hobbies and everything they didn't have time to do, because maybe you were taking up too much of their time. Maybe you were demanding too much of their time, and you were making it impossible for them to actually feel free within the relationship. So stage 2, they're rediscovering freedom. They're rediscovering what it's like to be without you. And once again, guys, you need to let them have it. I hear you. It damages your ego. It's a knock to your ego, but you must leave the ego at the door and let them explore this without you. Because sooner or later, they will revisit the breakup. They will revisit the relationship. They will start to realize that life isn't as great as they thought it might be being single. So just let them have it. Take a step back. Let them have the fun. Now, that may be rebounding. That may be they go and sleep around a little bit. That's part of the process. Let them explore. Let them do it. It hurts. I get that. But what other choice do you have? They've said, hey, I no longer want to be with you. So listen to what's being said, back off, and let them have stage number 2, which is fun and exploring. Okay, so if you're still with me, stage 3, grief. Yes. By this point, if you've done everything correctly, if you've backed off and you've just let your ex get on with it, let them have the relief and the fun, the reality of the situation will start catching up with them. They will start feeling the breakup. They will start feeling the pain. Now, they may have used alcohol, drugs, other people to soothe their breakup pain. And as I've said many times before, guys, The dumper does go through pain. It might be a different type of pain on a different time scale to you, but they do go through it. And grief will set in, especially if you had a good relationship. If there was no abuse or cheating of any kind, the grief will come. And they will start wondering why you've not contacted them. They will start wondering, maybe I did something wrong here. Maybe I did contribute to the breakup here. So they're going to start going through grief. They're going to start feeling the pain. They're going to start feeling, what do I do from this point on? Because my social life is drying up a little bit. Money's running out. And reality is setting back in. They've still got to get up at 5 a.m. every morning to go to work or whatever it is they've got to do. And normal life starts to come back. The stress of normal life comes back. And they have to come home to an empty house. You're no longer there to comfort them. You're no longer there to prop them up. So it will start to bite. And this is where things can start swinging back into the favour of the Dumpee. And that will lead us on to stage 4. So stage 4 for the dumper is where they start to reconsider their decision. They start to reconsider breaking up with you. And they start to reconsider the relationship. Was it as bad as they thought it was? So this is what we call the fade and effect bias. And the fade and effect bias, the best way I can describe it is, I've said this before, imagine as a kid, you fell off your bike and broke your arm. You remember that breaking your arm sucked. You remember going to the hospital and all the recovery that came with it. But you very quickly forget the pain in favour of the fun of riding a bike. And that's what happens with relationships. People very quickly forget about the bad things and favour the good things, because that is just a natural human thing that we do to help us get through life, basically, is that we remember the good times. So they're going to have some fade and effect bias going on at the moment. Now, I don't know how long this is going to take. A lot of people say this takes 30 to 60 days, and this is where the 30-day no contact rule came along. Guys, it takes as long as it takes. It could take a year, it could take 2 years, it could take 5 years. Oh, well, I'd hope by 5 years that you've moved on and you're seeing somebody else, or you're doing something good with your life. But that's the thing, guys. No one knows how long that's going to take. It just takes as long as it takes. So let them get on with it. Let them reconsider. Let them rethink. And if they reach out, you can have the conversation. But until then, it was their idea to leave. It has to be their idea to come back. So as with all the previous other stages, let them get on with it. Do not interrupt people when they're making a mistake. Let them make the mistake and let them reconsider. Right, stage 5. Now, guys, this can go one of two ways. There's 2 different variations of stage 5. They can either reach out, or they will be stubborn and not reach out. And maybe they've got to a point where they've got through the grief, they've reassessed, and most dumpers do reassess. They will reassess the breakup. They will reassess the relationship. Whether they reassess that in a favourable way for you is a discussion for another time. But this can go one of 2 ways. So if they do choose to reach out and you get a message like, hey, I made a mistake, I really miss you, and I want to work on our relationship. Now you have the power. As the Dumpee, the power is shifted back to you. By now, I would hope that you've been working on yourself. You've been dealing with the stuff that you got wrong. You've been moving from anxiety to relief, because your dumper has moved from relief to anxiety, and now the power sits with you. You get to decide now if you let them back in. You get to decide the terms of the reconciliation. So if this does happen, match their level. And if you are where they are, simply respond, hey, I've missed you too. It would be great if we could grab a coffee and I'd love to talk about it. And then you go grab a coffee, you have some fun, talk about the relationship and see if you can get to a reconciliation. But it's very important that you, 1, fix the stuff that you got wrong. But 2, you keep your ex accountable, because they got shit wrong as well. So that's very important. However, it may go the other way. You may never hear from them. They may rebound. They may have monkey branched. They may have taken an easier route. Or they have really sat down, they've really analysed the pros and cons of your relationship and just decided it's no longer for them. Maybe for them, the compatibility is all wrong. The chemistry is all wrong. You've grown apart. You're heading in different directions. You want different things out of life. And if that is the case, then that is the case. We must accept reality. And you simply walk away into the sunset knowing that you did your best, that you've worked on yourself, and you will level up and you will find someone even better. But that's the cold, harsh reality of a breakup. The dumper will go through a very different journey to the dumpee. So here's the thing, guys. Don't compare. If you're the dumpee listening to this, do not compare your journey to theirs. You're on different tracks. And that's it. And what dumpees tend to do, they will say things like this. If that was me, I would do this. I would have dumped them. I would never cheat. I would never monkey branch. I would never rebound. That's irrelevant. What you would do is irrelevant to what your ex would do. What you would do by saying that, this is what I would do. That is a projection of your preferred outcome of this situation. Leave it at the door. Just like a cat. A cat's are very different from a dog. A cat has to come to you, not the other way around. You can go to a dog and it will love you unconditionally, and a dog will come up to you and love you unconditionally. So treat your ex like a cat. Let it come to you. Let the cat be comfortable around you, because that's the nature of the beast. And once you understand the nature of the beast, you can start acting correctly and respond appropriately. That's all I've got for today. Guys, if you like this, hit subscribe, hit like. It really helped me out. You are enough. You're doing just fine. I'll see you on the other side.